people to make to spend out tickets in advance when you don't even know who's going to play?
To know, I mean, have you had a good time this year? Yeah. Other than it's a long way to walk, and hopefully because you were here this year, you had a good time last year, and you'd had a good time in the first year. So
it's a total experience, isn't it?
It's. I think it's about trusting us that we're going to deliver a quality bill, and also that we deliver it in a great environment. And I think the environment of Nebworth Park and the location that we are immediately next to the motorway, close to London, blah blah blah, I think ensures that we've got a good formula that I think that we can put something brilliant together for next year. I'm not going to promise you the Big Four, because we've got the Big Four, we've done the Big Four, but we'll do everything we can to put as strong a bill together as possible.
I think our customers will trust us, so we will honour that trust. Last year, we had an inkling of what we were going to bring you this year. We promised to make it slightly different. Our headliner on Saturn tonight, Bill Bailey, is, I think, going to be a particularly great slot.
See how it goes, isn't it? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Oh, I know.
I was say we've seen the rehearsals. It's going to be brilliant.
So all we can do is our best, but we'll try our best.
Is the Bill Bailey thing a result of how well the comedy went in Bohemia last year?
Yeah, yes, it's a result of that, and as you know, I mean, comedians like Tim Minchin's, Sean Hughes, who we've had in Bohemia, had absolutely packed houses. It was John's idea to do Bill Bailey, and we knew that the popularity of Bill, it just wouldn't work in Bohemia. It's just too big.
If it doesn't work, by the way, it's my wife's thing.
I thought you were going to say it was mine. Like, what?
But Bill uses Nebworth in his set anyway. Apparently his regular set he mentions Nebworth. He references Zeppelin at Nebworth. So he's an old fan, I know. I think he's been many times before.
Benny, have you seen the blog? His blog with Enter Sandman on car horns, quite incredible.
What's your continued relationship like with people in the local area towards Stevenage and that? Is that improved as you've progressed? Has there been concerns about, I mean, I know there's been issues, for example, access restrictions into the festival site. Is that an ongoing kind of like relationship?
That's something that we work on a daily basis, and as we touched on with your camping area, you listen to the good and the bad comments, you listen to everything, and we actually go out into the village and into the surrounding towns and areas to ensure that we are addressing the concerns and all the comments as best as we can. You can only do your best, as John says, and but we do care very much about the community relations and like to work with people, just like we always work with the local suppliers and the local businesses, and I'm really pleased with that. You know, we've got a good green policy going here with Sonisphere, and where we can, we work very locally.
Communities like reacting towards vaccinating the third year now, is this a positive?
We've had events here like this for decades, so you know, this is what we do, and yes, they work well with us.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this being a third year, the people in the village are happier with the concept, having seen it twice before. The concept of a festival in the this new decade. But as you know, Sonisphere is 60,000 people. Our locals are used to 125,000 people.
But we will get the odd negative comment. You always do, and so you need to listen to that and address it, which we will.
There are some people who to sit in a traffic jam for 20 minutes is the end of the world, and there's always going to be those people.
Just to pick up on a couple of points, at no point in the weekend have we actually caused a queue back onto the motorway.
No.
You've queued on the motorway, but it's just I queued on the motorway 10 days ago to come up to Nebworth. It's just where the A1M narrows down. You just get that, and things like road restrictions are there as much for the locals as for us, because it stops our traffic going into the residential areas. The other thing to add is that an event of this scale, with an economic impact study, we'll be introducing somewhere between £7 and £9 million into the local economy. So there are lots of shopkeepers, pubs, hotel owners, petrol station owners, and Wellington suppliers that love Sonisphere.
I mean, the reality is that our local hotels tend to be business hotels, which are well booked during the week, but they really struggle on the weekends. So to be able to bring the weekend business like this, and all the hotels are all booked this weekend.
But as you continue to expand, that's something you're going to continue to look at.
Absolutely.
See whether or not you are impacting in a negative way.
Well, let's just address the expand issue, because over the years I've been involved with various festivals that have grown, and we've run up to 100,000 plus people. Sonisphere at Nebworth is 60,000 capacity. Our current intention is that that's how big it will stay for the foreseeable future. We're not looking for it to become a mega festival. The scale that we're at is manageable. We can deliver great customer service, we believe, at this scale, and we're not looking to create a 100,000 capacity festival. We'd rather have something that sits here at a medium-sized scale or a large-sized scale that we can deliver and replicate year on year. And then once we've got the UK at that point, we've then got 10 other territories that we want to repeat that in.
We'll make this the last few questions. Obviously, with the size of Sonisphere, as it's grown over the last 3 years, bringing bands into the UK, are you constantly looking at ways of reducing the carbon footprint, making the environment?
Yes, we are, and indeed, Sonisphere. I'm glad to say that Sonisphere Nebworth has won 2 Green Awards, I think, last year. We're in the running for 2 for this year as well. The greenest way for you all to enjoy a festival is to sit at home and watch it on the internet, but that wouldn't be a festival. And the greenest way for us to run a touring festival would be to make the bands walk between the locations. But unfortunately, that's not practical. And yes, we are burning carbon to produce our entertainment. The biggest carbon impact that we have, though, is not what we do; it's what the customers do. And so that's why we look to maximise the number of people that come by train, number of people that come by coach. It's why we run lift share operations, and we encourage people to come on public transport wherever possible, because that's what really bumps up our carbon footprint as opposed to what we actually do here on site.
And Pootopia.
and Pootopia, which I don't know. Have any of you been to Pootopia? Sorry, have any of you been to Pootopia after the show's finished? It just turns to this drum and bass bog. It's quite weird. It's like, so I think we're definitely going to have that back. It's
Another question, reference to the late night entertainment.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at how popular it's been this year? I mean, for me, the personal highlights have been Killing Joke, Sisters of Mercy. But people coming away from the main stage couldn't get into the Sisters of Mercy last night, and we did see some serious issues with the fact that the barriers were taken down.
And there was a half, wasn't even full in there. They were just refused to let anyone else in.
Well, I think that's a capacity on the side of safety issues. That's understandable. But from other festivals, I've witnessed when I've had the sides of the tent rolled up. Is that something that could be taken on board?
Well, first of all, the late night entertainment, but also just the general festivalisation, as it were, rather than just our 2 main stages. We were enormously pleased this year that we had so many people arrive on Thursday, which we were able to plan for because we had actually sold 4-day tickets as opposed to 3-day tickets. So the great news for us as organisers was that on Thursday we had just under 30,000 people here on site. We didn't have a single band playing, and so they came, just enjoyed themselves, rock, disco, karaoke, bingo, whatever, and drank beer and just had fun. That for us then eased it the next day because we didn't have to have 60,000 people's worth of traffic arriving. With regards to after the 2 main stages finish, what we're trying to do is put on as much variety as we possibly can. So there is silent disco, there is comedy, there's karaoke, everything's running. With regards to the point on the tent, a tent isn't full when you can't squeeze another body in. A tent's full when you have enough people in there that can get out quickly when it's on fire. So the fact that you saw a space at the back doesn't mean it was shut for no reason. It means it was shut because it was safe. It was safe to exit that number of people. The problem with running late night tents is that our noise restrictions become much more severe and restrictive after 11 p.m. if we took the sides off the tents, we wouldn't be able to run them after 11 o'clock. So we've taken the decision to keep them enclosed, keep the sound source localized, and then hopefully, if you can't get to see the Sisters of Mercy, then you go off and you see something else. So we're doing as much as we can to please as many people as we can, but we're never going to please all of the people all of the time. That's for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to next year. There's a lot of bands that are going to be back on the touring scene. Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and 2 of them. Are they 2 that you would consider, or are they 2 like rock?
They're 2 that we're talking to, amongst a whole list of others, before you go and print. So no, that wasn't a clue. That was two in a long list that we're talking to. But it characterises that we're happy to have that type of band here. Absolutely wonderful.
Would work with this crowd.
I absolutely think that they would. Yes. Equally, I think that I don't know. I mean, I think that do I want to say this? Yeah. Okay. I think we could have Green Day. We could have Blink 182. We could equally have, I don't know, Rammstein. We could have Black Sabbath. We could have Metallica. We could have Iron Maiden. And that's the whole thing. We want to be as broad as we possibly can. None of those are confirmed. None of those are. Okay.
Good idea.
You heard it first.
But there must be a priority. Green is number 1 on the list.
The priority is to book a great bill, but it has to be balanced. There's no point us booking Metallica, Rammstein, and Slayer, because we're not going to have that broad base. Equally, there's no point booking Green Day, My Chemical Romance, and Blink 182. So we need a balance across the weekend. Okay. Thank you.